who's the front man of our band, Melody Memory. We have a live band, a 7-piece band. And we always have a live painter and a live scribe. So every single painting that you see up today, I talked to some of you, comes from a show and was created within the time limit of that show, right? So we want y'all to know that. These aren't paintings, even the one in the mouth back there, Jeremy Biggers, who has some really strong work in the city. A lot of these folks have really strong work in the city. Our only visual artist who is present, I'm bringing up him now because he's also super shy, David Rodriguez. So David, a quick fact behind you here is the aqua colored painting, more or less, was the very first time we had paintings in the show. So the first 4 years of our show were at the Dallas Theater Center, and the 5th year was downtown in a place called the Backroom Cafe, and then we moved here. And our first show here was in that back room. And we only had one show in 2010, and that David painted in that show, and people started realizing that this thing was coming back. Long story short, we had built very organically at the Dallas Theater Center at the Cleveland Humphreys, and had really packed shows. In our 5th year, when we went downtown, it was passed from the Dallas Theater Center to Big Thought, our managing partner. We lost our whole email list. Typical, y'all probably know. And we really lost a lot of our organic crowd. So it's almost like we had to start over. And when we came here, Life and Development was kind enough just to host one show. And we realized that we still had some spark left. David brought that. Alejandro always had that. And so as we move forward, we decided to schedule a 8th anniversary show. So if you look back behind you over here, our print with words, it's called a scribe piece. Maybe you've probably seen that at a conference or something like that. And Michael Agati, our friend who is not here, that is the very first scribe piece we ever had at a show. That was created November 16th, 2012. It is our curator's birthday, which means it was meant to be for that to happen as well. And we decided every show after that we would always have scribe boards, right? So we've had a scribe board ever since. We try to give as many artists a chance. As you walk around the room, you will see that the title says a celebration of youth, voice, culture, and creativity, but you also see people who are grown up. One of my favorite shots is right here in the middle, the guy who was holding his hand. How many familiar with the DaVerse Lounge flyer? Anyone with the flyer? We've been using the same face for about 10 years. That flyer is Anthony Haynes when he was a junior in high school. And this is Anthony Haynes as an adult. We tell the story, how did DaVerse Lounge start? Anthony was in a workshop at the Dallas Theater Center in 2005. He was sitting next to a young lady who went to Ursuline, I believe, up north. Didn't seem to have a lot in common. Found out that they both came from families, single-parent families. Both had a lot more similar, and I was telling our friends here earlier who were just now being introduced to DaVerse Lounge, that's what this work is all about. Child break. So that's what this work is all about, is showing that everyone has more similarities than differences. And Anthony, after that, graduated high school, went to the military for 8 years, had a couple kids, and he still keeps coming back. So this is just a plethora of stories here. Some of you may know Tommy Simpson. He goes by the name Topic. He is our probably most decorated kid. He lives in LA. He just got off tour with Flying Lotus. Brain Theater may be publishing his next album, which will be really dope. And just a lot of good stuff happening. I have to attribute AP. We call each other Hermano Boricua, Hermano, which is brother, Boricua, which is Puerto Rican. And David's a part of that. David's actually the only 100% Puerto Rican in the group. And between AP being musical, me being my stories, and David with the painting, we believe that those three things, that triangle there, has really expanded the work. I have to say hello to Karen Blesson, our mother mentor, who supported us through all the moves and never forgot us. I have to say hello to Joe Powell, our short father mentor over here to the left. These two people have been very instrumental in our lives, not just from coming to shows, they've been to the baptism of our children. When we've had people pass away, they've supported us. It's been amazing. I have to point out someone who doesn't want me to point out, I'm sure, but I will say it after I say what I'm going to say. We all did after-school workshops, and I taught a workshop in particular at Irving Middle School, at Austin Middle School in Irving, 9 consecutive years after school on Tuesdays, 9 straight years. AP was a traditional teacher, 15 years in the classroom. I taught 1 year in the classroom and left as quickly as I could. But I got involved in after-school workshops, and so the teacher involved in that school is here. Teresa Spencer, wave your hand, yeah. And she's a Christian. So there were just so many stories. Roger is here, the 1 year that I taught school, in my class. Roger, raise your hand. So we have so many awesome people here. Thank you so much for checking it out. As Jeffrey said earlier, you have headphones that you can listen to the people speak their pieces here. There are writing templates around all the way. We encourage you to write a template if you can. Skip a line if you need to. That's what we tell the kids and adults. But as many as we can get posted on that back wall would be super fun. And I guess without further ado, I do want to say thank you to my wife, Delilah. I want to call out Miles Campbell right here. The artist talk. I've never done an artist talk. I'm not really an artist like that, but it might be going long. This is Miles. Miles and his son D'Angelo. Miles was in our first show. Clap for Miles. In 2005, he's been with us for many, many years. We drove all over the Metroplex together, picked him up, dropped him off. He helped me out, saved my life a couple times. And this guy is his offspring. So without further ado, let me bring up our curator. We have thousands of images. Come on up, Jeffrey. We have thousands of images, paintings, scribe pieces. I do want to ask Jeffrey to share a couple words. We couldn't have done this show. We couldn't have done this show, number one, if we didn't have an editor, right? And I gave Jeffrey a hard time about all the things that we wanted in the show. AP and I are like, man, we missed a lot of pictures that we don't have. We actually don't have any pictures from the first 7 or 8 years, which I'm sad to say, but we didn't have cell phones back then, iPhones back then. We have thousands from the last 5 or 6. But Jeffrey went through everything. We drove around town finding the art pieces, because all of the art pieces were pretty much given away after the shows. And he's the one who really did all the hard work. He did all the matting. He made all the frames. Every single detail that is covered is here. I was talking to Joel from Life in Ellum. You know, he decided just to put a few little things with all the photographers' names on it and all of the artists' names on it. And there's just something about the lack of ego in this show that's really powerful that I think he even captured with that detail. So just super excited to turn over the mic now for our closing comments from our curator and designer. Give it up for Jeffrey Moffitt.
Yeah, so my name's Jeffrey. I was fortunate enough to work really hard on putting all of this together. From early talks with Will, one thing became clear is that he needed me to understand what DaVerse was all about. And you know, I thought that I knew what DaVerse was all about because I had been to a couple of shows here and there, and I had access to the Dropbox links with all these pictures, and I've seen all the work, you know? But what he said in one word, which I think, you know, would be helpful for all of us here to listen to or hear or to understand, is that DaVerse is family. And so by you showing up here today, you are now, whether you have been to a DaVerse Lounge or whether you're just now experiencing this culture, this group, this movement for the first time, you are now a part of that family. And it's a really cool place to be. If you've never been to a DaVerse Lounge, you know, we have one coming up February 8th, right? And so as a family member, you are now obligated to show up, okay? So February 8th at 7 o'clock, right?
Yep.
Well, yeah, at 7 o'clock, right here, the gallery, all of these portraits, all of these paintings will still be up, but you'll actually get to hear what DaVerse is truly all about. And so there will be buses full of kids that will be showing up with smiles on. That coffee shop will be turned into a nightclub full of dancing. There will be a DJ in there. You'll see Melody Memory at its best with AP. You'll see Will Richie frantically running around everywhere, trying to make sure everything happens on time and the way it's supposed to be. But whatever happens, it's always a truly magical night and special night. So please come out February 8th. Thank you so much for coming to the gallery show today or tonight, and make sure you invite people. This is going to be up for like 2 months. We got 2 DaVerse lounges coming up in the next 2 months, so invite people. Thank you, and you guys are a part of the family. So, yeah.
Give it up for Jeffrey real quick. We should. We totally should. Someone just walked in, and I know I'm missing a ton of people. Jamal Muhammad is here. Give it up for Jamal. Jamal, so our shows often have guest musicians or guest artists. Jamal's been an artist in this city for a long time. I know we have some other folks in here, I think, who've been on the microphone. John Oberly is here and Tom Brown, who have helped a lot with the design and our sanity over the last couple of years. So there's a picture of Jamal over there. Make sure to check that out. And let's give it up for Ron Amber Deloney, our DJ this evening. Strategically placed this note to meet you as you walk in. I'm going to take the liberty to recite a piece for you. Can I do that real quick? I'm going to recite a piece for you because this all started with stories. And this piece is a simple piece. It's called Dallas Dreams Big. Some of you have heard it. I don't really read and recite a whole lot, but I really feel like this piece, especially after what Jesse said, what Jeffrey said, embodied this night. So I'll leave you with this. Thank you for being here. Come back next Friday for our show. We would love to have you. Dallas dreams big, but we are so much bigger than Dallas. Interconnected amidst hues of cultures and generations, born and bred across state lines, countries and nations, galaxies and water, cosmic sons, holy daughters. Interconnected amidst hues of cultures and generations, ancestral gestures dating back before the panic of time, galaxies and water, cosmic sons, holy daughters, wisdom passed along through traditions, memories, suffering, and loss. Ancestral gestures dating back before the panic of time, when the sun's shadow taught us more than a television could. Wisdom passed along through traditions, memories, suffering, and loss. The choice of whether to forgive and enrich or not, for even the fatherless child is still part of a lineage, a city, a much grander family tree. When the sun's shadow taught us more than any television could, born and bred across state lines, countries, and nations, the choice that each of us have of whether to forgive and enrich or not. For even the fatherless child is still part of a lineage, a city, a much grander family tree. Yes, Dallas dreams big, but we are so much bigger than Dallas. And tonight, you have caught a glimpse of us all. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night.